Yes, man, lonesome. I'm up. Yes, man, I'm up. I'm up. We can't make no wait so long, right? All right. So the spokesperson on labor and social security going to be with us in like 2 minutes, right? Just to sort out the thing for us lagging right now, right? So you're going to see her, we're going to have some discussion because tell me what, may I watch something, I play a news, Canada news, all right. She's coming right now. Hold on. Hi, good afternoon, Angela.
Good afternoon, man. How you doing? How are your listeners?
I'm good. Yes, man. All right. Listen me now. People. We're talking to the spokesperson of Ministry of what? Labor and
Labor and
Social
social
Security.
security.
Also the chairwoman of the People National Party, an
That's correct. That's correct.
MP for Southwest.
Southwest County Andrew.
Good, Angela Brown-Burke. How you doing?
God is good. We have some challenges here, but we're alive and well.
Okay, good. All right, something come up to us, right? And it's really disturbing. When we saw the minister of our country, right? With the farm
Yes.
workers, them who telling you them in some state of like some slavery, some
Yes.
slave state. And I can't believe Carl Samuda really come up and make that speech. I'm gonna play it first, and make us play it first, right? I'm gonna play
Yes. Go ahead. Go
a
ahead.
news clip, and then I'm gonna ask you about this because what we are called frustrating, we're not gonna run the bush. What about resignation and what you as the opposition going to say in the house and what you're going to do about this? Too much arrogance.
Yes.
Yeah.
Absolutely too much arrogance and just not enough care for your workers and an understanding as to the plight that they are facing. It's like he doesn't care.
Yeah, I'm gonna play this and I'm gonna just people just watch this first. Watch this.
On farms across the Niagara region. Earlier this week, an advocacy group penned an open letter to them demanding change. Jason Gaidola brings us the latest on this.
In a recent call for help from unnamed Jamaican migrant workers in Niagara, Jamaica's labor minister is dismissing allegations of mistreatment and poor conditions.
I did not detect, quite frankly, any of the allegations that are meted out.
During a conference call, Jamaica's Karl responded by saying he toured 9 farms in 7 locations within 4 days earlier this month and lauded the working conditions, living quarters, and the farming employers during his visits.
I found the trip very productive. I found that the program was well managed.
In an open letter this month released by advocacy group Migrant Workers Alliance for Change, claims systematic slavery within Canada's seasonal agricultural workers program and alleged 2 Niagara farms failed to address overcrowded housing and pest infestations, along with intimidating behavior from employers. Samuda says the Jamaican workforce provided to Canada's farming industry is vital to its country.
And we will do everything in our power to ensure that this relationship not only continues, but is strengthened.
CHCH News reached out to both farms named in the letter this week. One responded, calling the allegations completely false.
Migrant farm workers, authors of the letter, are issuing this statement. Hearing what Minister Samuda has been saying to the media, we feel betrayed. But it's no surprise to us that the Jamaican government is choosing to take the side of exploitative workers.
Executive Director with Migrant Workers Alliance for Change, Saeed Hussain, says the group are 2 committees of workers and fear of repercussions if they speak out publicly. He adds by the response from the Jamaican officials, the group wants to turn to Canadian authorities.
It is now the Government of Canada's responsibility to allow workers a seat at the table by giving them permanent resident status so that they can represent and advocate for themselves.
Ontario's Labour Ministry says it's working with the federal government while they continue to investigate the matter. The province says they look into working conditions while Ottawa oversees living arrangements. As for the minister, Samuda in Jamaica, he says they will increase liaison staff in Canada to support workers.
Jamaica's Labour Minister is denouncing
I cannot stop that. I can't believe it. You have people who are voting a government. You have a government who's supposed to represent you. And this, our real Samuda really come up and say, I take side with these people and talk about it going to continue. Him thinks that a slavery done with. This bad.
No, it is bad. It is very, very bad. It is a dereliction of duty. What it says, because he can't be taking one side, which is just to preserve the program. The program is a good program. Many persons have gone there over the years, and it has made a big difference in the lives of many people. That's one side of the program. The other side of the program is what you're hearing from some of the workers presently about their working and their living conditions. Remember, the 2013 case just ended where the Jamaican government did not side with the workers and help the workers. And the court ruled in the workers' favor that their rights were abused. Here we have now another set of workers saying, listen, what is happening here is systemic slavery. This is not what we expect. When you go to visit farms like that, these are organized visits, organized by the owners of the farms. You don't expect them to go and show you the worst of what they have. They're going to put up their curtains, they're going to fix up their place, and you are going to see of what the best of what the farms have to offer. In any case, the workers have already told you, and they said that they are fearful of coming forward and talking about the living and working arrangements because they have no protection. If they are known to be the ones talking, they could very well be sent home. Or when they come home on the break, they don't get a chance to go back to Canada to work like that. So you know that for them to even come out and have the voices on tape, have the tapes that are out there, has been a courageous act on their part. And as a government, the only thing you can say is that you didn't see anything like that. Of course, you didn't see it. The question is, what are you going to put in place to make sure you have a secure and safe line for persons to report any abuse, any problems they have? And how are you going to make sure that there's an independent investigation taking place? The other side to that as well, he spoke about increasing the liaison staff. But the workers themselves have said to you that the liaison staff is not giving them the kind of service that they would have expected. So it is not simply about increasing staff. It is about also looking at the liaison service. Remember, the liaison service actually came into being because it was felt that you needed someone to be able to look out for the welfare of the workers. What that means is that you already know that how the system is built. You do need someone who is a protector of the rights of the workers. What certainly has happened now, based on what we can see, is that the workers don't have the same level of confidence in the liaison service. So that by itself is certainly not enough. Remember, the greatest reason why there is so much risk is that when they go up on the program, they are wedded to a farm. What that means is that if anything happens on the farm and the owner decides to send them back, they send them back, and that's the end of it. From my memory of, I think it was the nanny program that we had way back in the days when people went to Canada as nannies and house help. That program was that if you had a problem with your employer, you did have a chance of leaving that employer and not leaving the program. Right now, that is not what exists. So it puts those workers at an extreme disadvantage. Remember, persons are going to go up there and do almost anything to be able to save the little money, buy their stuff, and send back home because they're there for, to improve their lives. But we cannot and should not expect that they should suffer the kinds of abuses that we have seen. At the very least, what is required is for the Ministry of Labor, the government of Jamaica, to ensure that a proper investigation takes place. And just to hear Minister Samuda say, I went, I looked, and I didn't see, and not understanding that that is not enough pains me. It pains me because what it means is that our workers are without a national representation. Now, to even hear Canadians say that the province and the national government are going to put things in place to protect the workers. I mean, believe you me, it bleeds my heart because Why are they doing it and we don't see the need to do it? Where is the Jamaican? Where is the Jamaican government? It is the same thing with the Ukraine students that were basically abandoned. It took a while for us to get the government behind them. It was same thing with those who were at sea on the ships when COVID first came. It was almost a fight for us to recognize the right of Jamaicans at sea to make sure we could bring them back. And here again, we are seeing that the government is showing that it does not care. And I believe at this point where we are, the minister needs to go. He is either at sea without clue or he doesn't care. And either way, it means that he's not the right person for the job.
Because you first me with that, and because me I tell them, I talk straight. So me I tell them people to come out picket. Me have talk to the opposition. We don't need to come out and put force behind this. This minister need to go. Not him alone, but also the national security minister, the commissioner, with people. You know, the people. You can imagine them do a survey, and you have 91 and 93% disapproval ratings, and the prime minister with him arrogantness just sit down. When the shoes was on the other foot, when the shoes was on the other foot, if someone come up with something like that and say we're going to bring down a government, this arrogant straight. People not know. People come out and stand up against this. Private sector also.
If the shoe was on the other foot with a 91, 93% disapproval rating, they would probably be in the streets asking for the removal of the Minister of National Security and the Chief of the Commissioner of Police. But can I tell you the other thing that is really, really, really something that bleeds my heart as well? And I believe that we cannot allow the government to get away with it. Whenever we talk like this, we see what is happening and we say, listen, what you're doing is not working. And that's not a secret. Everybody sees that it's not working. The survey shows that the majority of Jamaicans, as one of our comments said the other day, 7% or 9%, that said, it's probably only friends and family who don't disapprove. When the disapproval rating is that high, and we talk about it, the stance of the Prime Minister himself is to make it seem as if we are only doing this because we are playing politics with national security.
You know why?
Politics.
You know why I'm saying that? Because when the Prime Minister was in opposition, him talk all these things, so I document them. I have them, when I ready, I just play them back and just remind him. Not my word, his word. And I believe if you hold people by accountability, and you have to hold them by their word.
Yeah.
So there cannot be a rebuttal or nothing like that because the man said these things.
Yes.
So it don't go show me say it was just power grab hungries and them scrape and do all kind of little things. And it can't work no more. Jamaican people forget up and stand up for them rights. You can't have a minister, you go up on farm work program and the minister throw all the farm work under the bus. And I tell you something like this.
Yes.
I heard him in an interview saying, it's like the one them will come out attack, it'll jeopardize other one. You're like you're bound to a system.
Yeah.
A colonial system. It's wrong.
It
should be in a minister. You need to go.
The government must provide the balance. I mean, I have some farm workers because they have left the constituents and they've gone. Many of them have called me and spoken to me. None of them have told me these stories, but that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist on other farms. That doesn't mean that the stories, the accounts that workers are giving, that they are not true. And the government has a responsibility to investigate, to go behind the facade that an owner might show. Because, I mean, these are serious things. I mean, I saw some videos, a man jump off a ladder,
yes,
in a crate, right,
yes,
and send him down, being drawn by some heavy equipment. I saw subsequent video to that as well.
Well, I saw the video to that where the ambulance go and pick him up. Some the bunk bed, that can't be some people asleep. Some little thing where them like some board with them. Me I watch it. And by the way, I keep showing nearer to St. Catherine, right? Down that side, and a lot of farm workers come at my sessions, right? So I know a lot of people talk to me. I talked to one like 4 years ago. I put it somewhere right there. 4 years ago. And tell me everything what going on and the kind of treatment 4 years ago. I'm going to repeat it later. I'm going to show it. I can't show a little clip right? Because I talked to one 4 years ago. Talk to me about the same thing.
No, but
It's not no neither. 4 years ago.
It's obvious that is not no. As I said before, there's a 2013 case, the rape case, where the owners of the farms scraped up the workers, took them down to the police station, had the police take DNA from them for a rape case, even though just based on the description of the rapist from the victim, they did not fit the description. The only thing was that they were a migrant worker, they were a farm worker. There was nothing else that would have allowed the police to even believe that they could have been the perpetrator. So what it means is that there are these excesses. I have no doubt that it is true, none whatsoever, because we have seen the pictures and we have heard it. And at the very least, I keep saying that, whether the minister believes it or not, he ought to give the workers the benefit of the doubt, and he ought to go in and do a proper investigation. That's what he needs to do. They have said that the liaison service seems to take the side of the owners all the time as well. So you know that it is not the liaison service that you have to ask to do that. So, I mean, the truth is that the government right now, move Samuda, because he's obviously not understanding what his role is as the minister, Jamaican minister of Labour and Social Security. So that's one. The second one is to also ensure that there is a proper independent investigation, independent of the owners who are there, right? Obviously independent of maybe even the liaison service, who up until now have seen nothing wrong. I heard, I think it was the Migrant Alliance, that association of the migrant workers, saying, and I mean, they went through a whole lot about what they have seen. Now, they don't have any axe to grind, yes, except the protection of workers. And they tell a whole other tale about the woes on these farms. So here they are saying these things. The Canadian Parliament itself is actually considering a motion about giving farm workers a pathway to residency to make sure that they have certain rights on which they can stand. If it has gone to that level, it must mean that there's a basis for the allegations being made by the Jamaican workers. And in that case, they should be able to depend on the defense of their government.
Make I ask you something though, and this farm working thing, right? Oh, the insurance and the setting up, because I see a farm worker who diagnosed with cancer and them have to fly him in back. And then they have other farm work sick. One of them and must suck in and him die. And all kind of things. And some of them when them sick, them don't even get coverage. Oh, this what's going on?
No, I saw that as well, and that is a problem because one would have expected, I certainly would have expected that being overseas on a program like that there is some kind of insurance, health insurance, and not just health, right? And other as well, because in any job situation, listen, there are workers, you know, they might be working on a farm, but there are workers. We come from a country where the people of Jamaica, certainly under Michael Manley, for example, would have fought long and hard for workers' rights. And we are known to be protectors of the rights of workers. And there are certain things that we ask for. You know, security of tenure is one. If you have been there for years. I know people who have been on farmer program for 25 years. It's all well and good that the owner of the farm, the farmer will say, boy, you know, we have a good relationship. But it shouldn't depend on your largesse or your kindness that allows that worker to come back from time to time. They've been there for 25 years. What is it going to take for them to have some more?
I'm not going to cut you, but I'm going to tell them this. I know one person who come to Canada for 32 years. Matter of fact, is my son uncle.
Okay.
32. You see that? So, yeah. and as I said before, I know a lot of farm workers.
Yes.
Now in Canada now. When I give sure some of them come and make sure. You understand?
Yeah.
So I know a lot of them. We're gonna do some things and them always come and think. So I know a lot of them. So them not telling a lie, you know. And a lie. Where the minister do. Him tell some other ones, say, listen to me. Because them are gonna stop on the farm work.
Yes.
And also Canada run.
No.
Rights are rights, and everybody have rights. If you have
But-
rights, you're supposed to have rights. And by the way, the government of your country is supposed to look out for each and every citizen of that country, no matter what. But Jamaica government have a way to throw you under the bus.
Yes, which is what is happening in this.
Like in Ukraine and everywhere else.
There you go. There
Like
you go.
in UK, them call and make police set down on the people, them just outside demonstrate and thing. It's wrong.
It's
All
wrong.
over the arrogance and thing, it need to change.
And we have to stand up and say no. We have to stand up and say no. And we have to stand up behind and beside these workers because their rights are important. Can I tell you? I was looking on social media and I was looking at some of the comments on some of these stories coming out of Canada. And I am amazed. I mean, I know some of them are true, I know some of them are said. But some of the comments, exactly as you're saying, where they're saying, boy, this is only going to jeopardize the program. Let's stop the workers. They don't need to go. Let's send everybody home. No, it's not all or nothing. It's not all or nothing. The Canadians certainly are based on
Hold on 1 minute. 1 minute. So, people, I'm going to ask you this. Coming about the system. So, you rather not jeopardize a program, but where workers them dead one are mistreated and angle like a slave. If we just keep a program, I said no, don't bow to that. We're not about to vanity money and not it have a right. It cannot be because it's a program. Me I work so you can't angle me like slave. And then the rest, you must jeopardize. That's why Jamaica mash up and stay so today.
No, but can I tell you, I don't think we are there, quite frankly. We are not there because there are a number of other farms who don't have these conditions. They are living in a country, Canada, that understand the protection of workers' rights as well. And so all we have to do is to make sure that there are some minimum standards for their living conditions, for their working conditions, for their insurance, and that there's a way in which if there's something that is wrong, a complaint they want to make, that they can make it without jeopardizing their position. And I think that is fair.
And you see, other country protect rights. Canada, one of them protect your rights because if they send for you and you're working, there is no way, because these farms, let me just tell them, because me want some land and I can do some of that and send for people too. So these farms are farmers, right? Some of them farmers are some private people. Private people that sell what they get subsidies and things. I understand the whole idea. You have farm that's up the road. You have someone know about the farming, right? And me personally want some land to go start do that. Come like the farming. Send to some people and do the same thing. All right. You have some of them treat the people them bad. Them treat the farmers them bad.
Yes.
The farmers them bad. One man show me much acre like him have to take care of an acre and a half, 2 acre film job that for the day, and him have to prune every tomato tree. Every one of them more than an acre. And him have to do that every day. Him have to tie them, him have show you what him have to do. And you will take care of 1 acre in a greenhouse, and next man will take care of an acre and a half. And him will show you the work, and by him go sleep, him have to wake up back. I do that 4 years ago. 4 years ago. Him stop it when him right.
I think I heard a voice note with somebody also saying something similar, that when they were finished after a day's work, they were of no use to themselves. I mean, just all of what they had to do and so on. I mean, obviously there are some problems. And what we have to do, we cannot say we want to save the program at the expense of the health and well-being of the Jamaican workers. It is not fair. We can't pick them up from Jamaica and send them there and leave them on their own without any protection. We have to provide it as a government.
Tell me. All right. Them go as far as tell me, okay, so them keep a book. When we go through, we have to do this and check up and do everything, and them keep a book. And we have come down like 2 weeks before we come down, we get a book. This is what them do, this is what them do, this is how them angry. The liaison, them not working. I mean, I tell them the truth. What we need is liaison. Because them always do things against our own people. Everything what we're doing is like a slavery mentality, where we turn against our own people. We are country bill and we stand up for your people.
Yes.
Rights are every single Jamaican. But like you have the rights and you for bow in the world to them. I will say it for stop.
No, as I was saying, the liaison service was actually established to deal with the welfare issues of the workers. That is what they were there for.
Against the workers, though. I can't tell
you. But what is happening is that that's not happening. And the workers are obviously dissatisfied. They have said that. They have articulated that very, very clearly. which also means that the government of Jamaica also has to look into that, about how it is structured, the efficacy of the liaison service, what are their roles and responsibilities, and who is doing well, who is not, who is on top of things and who is not. Because it couldn't be that everybody else comes and says these are the things that are wrong. And some of your liaison service officers would say they didn't hear, they have never heard. It means that they're not in touch. Or maybe, like the minister, they're only in touch with the owners.
You know what? Sometimes I talk something it at them ears, but me keep it real. Because you have some MP, them like run them thing like how constituency run. And it don't run like that. It name foreign country this. So run it like how you run a constituency. Some people are silent or you get punished or you get pushed away and you can't do this and that. It don't work, Karl Samuda. It don't work like
the truth is that running a constituency like that doesn't work either.
No, but them do it for them benefit for keep vote.
Yeah.
That's what them do. So me and you say them do it for the benefit for keep vote. So you always up top, and when somebody's come and say, oh, it runs smooth, no care what. I'm gonna tell the people them this again. Any member of parliament say them I run a place. Okay, so them love me and them love me. Let me tell you, see like Watcher Garden look and Upper Beverly Hills, I saw them constituency for look over the years. So it's supposed to be a gated community and no gunshot a bus and what have you, and when police come, MP stand up in the way and so we don't have no bad people and tell the foolishness. It fits stop.
No,
and if them love
I agree with that.
If them love it will look like Upper Beverly Hills and them place there. Yeah, and your kids will go good school and adapt them supposed to look about on a well-being.
I agree with you. I mean, Southwest St. Andrew, we have our own set of problems in terms of crime and violence and so on. But the ideal and what we're working towards is exactly what you're saying. That when you come in and you look around the community, it could have been anywhere. It could be Cherry Gardens, it could be Ligani. It looks like any one of those communities. That the schools that your children are going to, that they are learning because the schools are well resourced, which is part of why we fight also to make sure that the schools in our inner city communities are also funded to allow the teachers to have the programs that the students require so that we can lift their academic performance.
Yes. So this is what we are called for right now. Sheldon, you up? This is what we are called for. Karl Samuda, Minister Samuda, the government. A matter of fact, the buck stop with the Prime Minister.
It does.
Everything.
It does.
Karl Samuda, you would just resign. Or you forget fired by the Prime Minister or something. Too much arrogance now. And people forget for this. Because that's speed, Because you cannot have a government anyway in the world where you see a government fight against them own people and disagree with them people. When I am not people, not for one of just come on now, I'm going to play back what the news over here say. Right? I'm going to play it back to the people then. And you hear for them thing what them talk about. And you hear, you have other groups, they not agree with, a minister coming and say this. If don't go every farm because the farm them far. So you couldn't take 4 days and go to the farm. If me I drive go to the farm, I'm going to tell you how much hours to just. Me I go, that send catching, that take me like maybe 5 hours. To go and come back. And then for go walk it out. So if you leave from Pierce, and you stay like downtown, and you can leave go in a St. Catherine and then buy it for walk out. I don't know I'm going so much farm in a 4 days. Can I go, maybe, I don't know undo it. And then
what time is spent on the farm really looking.
And the farm, we got acres, so you can walk out the whole farm and chat to everybody.
And who did he speak with? Who did he speak with? Absolutely. Who did he speak with?
The man them too like. So what him do, maybe him have some little 1 and 2, you can have yes people.
Yeah, always.
So him talk to the 1 and 2 little one and say, listen, them I try make you not come back. These are the kind of mindset for our people. Or what kind of 2030 vision when you have them kind of mindset and them kind of politician push the wrong kind of things. When you turn a member of parliament, and when you turn a minister, me think you represent the people. No, you not represent the people in Jamaica, man.
No, you have to. And the truth about it, for you to do that, you have to have the people in your heart. That's part of it. And when you don't have the people in the heart, and when you don't truly care for the people, it shows every single time. And it shows in times like these. Because listen to the minister now, The minister wants to save the program. He's speaking basically on behalf of the owners.
You just say him want to save program.
Yeah.
So man look over, you look for your people, them like back in 17 something or early 8 before we get.
Absolutely.
So you want to save the program. Not your people, them, not them health, not them life. You know, cater for them.
Yeah.
You want to save a program. So you do anything and fling farm worker them under the bus.
And it's okay,
Let me
yeah.
tell you this. If you have Canadian come to Jamaica for come work and you try that with them, you don't see how them come down like a
Oh, we couldn't do that.
We can't do America. We can't do nobody else.
Yes. No,
And
that
you
is not allowed.
they must not stoop to this level. Karl, Samuda, you need to resign. You need to go, man.
No, I mean, no, and you are correct, you know, the buck stops. We talk about the minister because the minister has a portfolio responsibility. But
Yes.
I am sure that the prime minister must have seen those tapes, must have read that letter, must have been listening to all of the reports, some of what you played there, on the news over there, the different organizations. And he would have even heard the farmers themselves say that the response of the minister is like a slap in the face to them and their families. And to date, we have heard nothing from the prime minister. It's about time he too opens his mouth in defense of the Jamaican.
You know what? Because silent mean consent.
There
so him agree with Karl Samuda.
Yeah.
It's the same man will say, okay, we're going to have this and we're going to have a mandate and nobody feel them can do this and we're going to write a letter. Because that's why I play and remind him. Because this is my civic duty when we are trying to do for all Jamaica together.
Yes.
Yeah, well, me have a million things I do, you know, but me have to take out time out because me I say, oh, we not take people for eat that too long, you know. And me know it. So somebody write that so somebody just write Beverly Smith. You know, a politician used to use the program to reward constituents for votes or to get votes. In the 1980s, Jack Smith went to prison. Yeah.
Yes, I remember that. Yeah, Jack Smith did.
After years, because if they transfer some money, got their son and do all kind of things. So this, yeah.
No, you're right. Yeah.
Yes.
But can I tell you, I don't know if politicians used to use the program to award loyalists. I do know that there's a lot of demand for it. What I know, I certainly do, and I know many of the other MPs who do it, certainly some of my fellow MPs, is that you want to make sure that you have persons who have some experience on a farm, who have a genuine interest in working on a farm, who really want to work. Because you and I know that farm work is not easy, you know. Working in agriculture is not easy. So when someone goes who doesn't have that kind of experience, it is challenging. So it is also important to make sure that persons who are going understand the farming and have a genuine interest in working on the farm, if it's even just to get some money to come back home. But while you do that, you have to make sure that you're sending them abroad to a country where their well-being is being looked after, where the working conditions are at least at a minimum acceptable standard, where they live is also acceptable. You understand what I'm saying? Because you can't strip them of their dignity just for $1. That's what used to happen in slavery. That is what our ancestors fought for. Some prefer to kill themselves than continue living under those conditions. And I keep saying it, that for children of enslaved people, which is who the majority of Jamaicans are, when you hear Jamaicans say to you that these conditions come in like slavery, your antenna should go up to say, oh no, let me see what is happening, because I cannot afford to have Jamaicans living in Canada under those circumstances. We just cannot. That history is too close to us. That the anguish, the pain is, many of us still carry that. Many of us still carry that. So we can't fight to free ourselves from slavery in Jamaica and then turn around in 2022 and are okay with sending Jamaican workers to Canada under similar circumstances. It just will not work. And I'm with you. We have to stand up. And as the opposition, we have to stand up. And if others are willing to sit on the sidelines, we cannot. We have to stand up in defense of the Jamaican workers and insist that the Jamaican government provide them with that kind of protection. investigate properly. If it means that we have to also join in terms of that lobby for a pathway to residency so that they have a right as workers, then so be it. Let's get on that train. But we have to. We have no choice in the matter, none whatsoever.
No, we have to secure our workers, them, and we
Yes,
care
ma'am.
about like this. So why the government? All right. Let me just say something to them. So them have a demand. Them know so Canadian now go up on a farm, go work, so them can't hang on a Canadian. So we tell them not want the job. Them not go do this. So them have seek some people from third world, so-called third world countries, right? But our government then don't come up and say, all right, farming and them money on farm. And we could just cut up back the land like a man did do. And we could farm the same thing and export it. We don't make more money, sir. And pay them better. Why we don't come up with the idea that instead of we have send them, make we be a powerhouse, make we buy, we are gonna grow what we want and sell it. The government behind it. Why them not come up with that? We have more people that are employed.
I'm going to say this, Wayne. I don't think it's one or the other. I believe that these are two tracks that we should be working on, that we should be looking in terms of agriculture in Jamaica and what it is we can create a niche in, what we can produce, get our farmers, provide incentive. Overseas, they provide incentive for their farmers, That's part of the reason why sometimes we can import some of their produce at such cheap costs. We have to provide that for our farmers. But I keep saying there are some farm owners that are operating like the ones we're seeing. But there are others who are not like that. So I don't believe that you have to scrap the program entirely. I just believe that in the negotiations that
It's not scrapping it, It's not
no,
scrapping
that's
it.
what I'm saying. No, in the negotiations that the government is doing, they must have in there some standards that if you have a farm and you want Jamaican workers, these are the standards. These are the standards. That's how you get our workers. Because they will tell you, I have not been to the Canadian when I was in the US, and they will tell you that Jamaicans come up and they work hard. So they also want Jamaican workers because we work hard. But what we have to do is to make sure that they are working hard in a safe environment. That now is the government's responsibility, and we have to do that. And we have to insist, every single one of us as Jamaicans, that the present government must do that or get out of the kitchen.
No, but it's a serious thing. But as I was saying, like we go back again, and that's why I talk about the right honorable Mr. Manley all the time. That man, I always talk about him because that man there. Yeah, man, the man there. Them know me a man there, so me no talk about nobody else but Mr. Man there.
All of us are Manleyites.
Okay.
Those ideas never die.
Good. All right. So what me I say now, if we turn the envy at the world by turn back to farm. Remember, we're not using electricity. We are use water and land.
Yes.
We look at fertilizer. We have a lot of river, wood and water. So make we use that and make we start market these things because Canada go buy it and everywhere go buy it. So when you send for a farmer already, say you have to pay a farmer, right? Because what farmer need to come.
Yes.
And when we are farming, I say, no, you have to talk to me good.
Yes.
And then we eat what we go, so that cut down the import bill.
Yes.
We stop carrying onion and Irish and these things. We have to stop.
And Scotch bonnet, can you imagine?
And by the way,
OTT apple.
Scotch bonnet.
Yeah.
You hear that?
Yes.
Scotch bonnet. And by the way, no hotel. If you want to come invest in a Jamaica, you can't buy nothing from outside unless you never have it. So you're supposed to buy the people them are foreign and eat them thing already. You come to Jamaica for come spend, you have to buy foreign Jamaican food.
Yes.
The supermarket, you have to carry Jamaican food. That means we don't let us stop the value because we never need to buy junk and all kind of things with the money. We import too much garbage and I export nothing and I mash up the country. Why not that Sri Lanka,
Can I tell the truth? When you go to a lot of the hotels, and you see foreigners there, they want to taste Jamaican food. They eat their food every day where they are. So when they come, they want to get the flavor of Jamaica. That's part of the experience that they're looking for. And I don't believe that as many as should, that they are providing that experience. The truth is, I do know that there are some of them who have this kind of backward linkage with some of the farmers. But I think it probably needs to be strengthened. I tell people, I only talk about here that I am fully seasoned. I am fully seasoned. But what you're saying is just common sense. It's just common sense. Yeah, let's provide that avenue for our farmers so that, and you know, we have the technology too. You know, many years ago, I remember they were looking at aquaponics and all that kind of a thing, which means that it's not just, I mean, farming in land. You know, you can farm using the pipes and all of those things. You know, so this is a brand new era in terms of what we're doing. So that is not just country now, you know, because you know, if we also look at urban farming, so that you can provide some opportunities for urban farmers as well, you know, in terms of that. But we have to incentivize them. I agree with you. We have to incentivize our farmers, and we have to ensure that we identify those areas, those niches that we can build, so we know that farmers have a choice in terms of where they go, so that when you look overseas and persons want to get our farmers, they know that they are premium farmers, and therefore they know that they have to treat them well.
That is it. That's my point, you know, because if we are farm and we are top producer now, and we look at farming now, and we are sell to even the Caribbean, we are sell to Canada buy. We know that North America buy, UK is a must. Right away, it bring in the needed US to balance off the thing, and we stop carrying junk. Yeah, because when at the time, you know, what hurt me, you know, I see the health minister come up with a thing named Market Me. I mean, I say, who come up with Market Me, want market themselves, nobody never know them. 85 million for what?
Yeah.
Nobody don't know them.
No, it's crazy.
When I say them themselves are market, and then with the man where them come, that the excuses, we are promote healthy eating. Or people fit eat healthy when them not have no food to eat in the first place. We are promote healthy eating.
They don't have the food, and then them don't have the money to buy. So you have to balance the thing. You have to balance it.
It was a waste of money.
Yes.
You understand?
You have to balance the thing. You have to balance.
But when you come back with some AMC kind of style, go back to Father Monday again.
You know, that was one, I think, of the best things that we did. The truth is
fresh produce.
No, it allows the farmers to have a ready access to market without having to even worry about that. Because they take it there, and the AMC does that kind of marketing. It therefore is going to regulate the gluts and, you know, and the scarcities and so on. It was a wonderful idea. The truth is that in the days of Michael Mann, there were many excellent ideas that were scoffed at by the present government. And I think that we have to look at those, and we can't be afraid to embrace them, because we know you have to kind of fix them up, because we're in 2022. So the same things don't always work exactly as they were presented then, but they form the basis of strong policy options that we have as a present government. And we can't be afraid to brush those off, fix them up, and modernize them, and see how they work in today's world.
But them have to work, because listen, all right, you part them, but you import garbage.
Yes.
And we don't have the money. We have around 3 billion something in a reserve. So if that run out now, what we do? Right. We import too much crap and exporting nothing. And then the government, it hurt me, because over the years them just promise poor people this, poor people. May I say, boy, it coming like a church, I promise you you'll get this and show me little thing, and nothing else not done. You just stuck. Me no know that with them.
But you know, the issue of food that you have brought up is really an important one. It's an important one because it is one of the priorities coming out of the last consensus they had, even in the US, about food security. And it is particularly important for us in Jamaica, because I don't know if you have seen some of the reports coming out about how poverty has increased in Jamaica and what is happening with food.
4 million have no food to eat.
Absolutely, absolutely. You know, people are eating less protein, less in their food, less meals per day. I mean, that is challenging. And if you ever link that back to the whole link of malnutrition, for example, and our children in school and learning, on top of the learning loss that we suffered in COVID, to just kind of think through 2-3 years down the road, where are we going to be? It is frightening. We have to make sure that we are working in the now to be able to have not what we have today, but to change those statistics and to change today's reality, because we cannot continue like that. Otherwise, we are doomed as a country.
No, that's it. And I saw this deputy mayor come tell people about them are covered. But him never, but you know what hurt me? I do something about it yesterday, but you know what hurt me? He must say the people them will leave a coward, but they're still in the same interview. It shows that the diaspora sent to Jamaica over 3.3 billion. Now without that money, in the last year, Jamaica sinking up because most of the tourism thing they shut down and thing. And you see the people in the diaspora, same Jamaican, you know, in the diaspora do that.
No,
And they
you think everybody would be out the road rioting. You know, the country couldn't continue as it did if we didn't have that. I keep saying I do not know one single Jamaican that does not have somebody in the diaspora that from time to time is going to send, whether it is a money, through MoneyGram, whatever, or who's going to send a barrel every now and again, or somebody coming down and then send a little suitcase with some things. They do it, it helps you in terms of selling that to earn a living, in terms of food. I mean, it is a lifesaver for so many Jamaicans. And that is at one end. And the other end, I mean, when I went with the party leader, I accompanied the party leader and a group into the diaspora. And we were talking with Jamaican Americans who are there, who are elected officials, who are individuals who are contributing there, and who at the same time are contributing back home to their alma mater, the schools they went to, the schools their parents went to, the church their mother used to go, the community that they come from, and other family members. And the worst part about it, I believe, is that the deputy mayor has said that, has basically once again slapped Jamaicans who have left in the face. And we have not heard a peep out of the Jamaican Labour Party. We have not heard a peep out of the minister about that.
You know what happened to? I just show a little thing on that yesterday. When him said that, me just asked and said, why you never said that about Kamina Johnson Smith? When you spend how much million and the Prime Minister, the whole want to back it. So what should I do? In Jamaica, should I stay or London should I leave?
No, because what he's doing
London just never leave. She have a job in and all right, you know.
Yeah.
And they should leave and go where, you know. And that's it okay for him and for them. And matter of fact, from the office of the Prime Minister, I think them say what, 12 million him give?
Yes. She had the full backing from the minister.
And from the ministry do give like 8 million or something to give some money to? The ministry?
The millions of dollars, 30-40 million dollars that was spent in that campaign could have done so much. And for a party where one of their key persons, deputy mayor, because that is not an insignificant position, is going to say, once you leave, you're a coward. That means we were willing to pay $40 million.
40 million, taxpayers' money.
To go and live. But you are cussing other Jamaicans who
have
their own little means and their own little bootstraps and putting their own little dollars together, have been able to find a little pathway to go abroad to help themselves. This is it's crazy.
That's why I said them for watch what them are talking. I'm not me on my own platform, you know. Them have to watch what them are talking, you know, because I tell them I'm on the heights and we learn from the best. So I keep it real.
Absolutely.
We keep it real and honest.
Absolutely. I'm telling you. You know, believe you me, we have to say to these leaders on a political platform, be careful of what you say. And, you know, we also have to say to them that when you go on a platform and you say something that is not correct, we have to hold you responsible. That is where it starts. It starts by making sure that we watch what we say what we mean, and we say those things that are reasoned and make sense, and that are all about moving Jamaica forward. And when it isn't, call us to books. I don't care who it is. Call us to books, talk to about it, say, well, go on, what is that? So that we can stop that. So that when we open our mouth, what is going to happen? The Minister of Labour, when he gets up to speak, will be speaking on behalf of the Jamaican farm workers in Canada, understanding their plight and seeking redress and to make sure that it doesn't happen again. That is what we need.
Make I show you a clip. Prime Minister, may I show you a clip? Like, just watch this clip, right? Just listen what the Prime Minister said right here. That's why I said nothing hypocritical. I have hold him to my account. Listen, watch this.
We don't feel comfortable sitting in Parliament with a Minister of Government and that Minister shows no sign of wanting to resign, or the Prime Minister showing no signs of moving to dismiss the minister. It is a dark day for Jamaica, where the Prime Minister is unwilling or afraid to act against a minister in which the public has lost total confidence and in which the institutions of the society are all agree that this person does not enjoy their trust or faith and has breached the confidence that the people have placed in them. I believe that this has the potential, if it continues, to bring down the entire government.
So if that potential, now that a film, that me tell you something about the clippings, you know.
Yes,
So that's a film word, in one word, and I may say you have him have that Karl Samuda now.
Yes.
We just turn against all our farmer them in Canada and everything, and I said them a tell lie and everything.
Right.
Pick up with back master.
Oh,
And then you have Chang, and you have the commissioner when pick. And nothing. Silence.
Yes.
So if you know what remember, that means okay. So it ungo the words and when that say it ungo for the other party. So it ungo for him. So the arrogance and things. So we're stupid. If him come and say something, we're gonna hold him by account. And a matter of fact, if you wanted to say something, we're hold him by account. So me I hold everybody by account same way. Now them from the government, what you want me to do? Come on, because you have 1 and 2 when we call show, they will come on and say, what no, me I hold the government by account. The opposition to come and do some more work. We want hear one more vocals out here. We want hear one more. Want to come and talk up. We have just point out them need to leave.
Yes. No, they those need to leave. The truth is that Peter Bunting has been very vocal about the Minister of National Security and the Commissioner of Police and the fact that what they're doing is not working. He has been using the statistics and he has been talking about it. And the truth is that he has been talking about it so much that every single time they get a chance, they're coming at it and hitting at him, every single chance. But as he has said, he's not afraid. He knows that is his responsibility. Because that is the other thing. When you are a spokesperson for the opposition, you have to just be clear on what your responsibility is. It's not to look friend and company. It is to hold the government accountable and to make sure that the rights of the Jamaican people are being protected. Sometimes you're going to lose friends over doing that. Sometimes even some of your own who are friends with some people are going to say, Lord, you're going too far, or you decide that. But you have to do it. Because that is what is required. Absolutely. If you don't want to do that, step back from the job. That is what is required. And it's the same thing for the minister. If you are not required to do what you know the job entails in terms of protecting the Jamaican worker, then you have to step aside.
Yes.
And if you don't step aside, the Prime Minister should remove you from the portfolio and find an individual who understands their portfolio and understand that if your workers say that they're not being treated well and the farmer says everything is hunky-dory, you can't just take that from the farmers because you need the program. You need a safe program for them to work in. And it is the government's responsibility to do that. Don't leave it to the Canadians. We are pleased that the Canadians are progressive enough and conscious enough to understand that they can't leave it alone, that they have to investigate, that they have to make sure that both living and working conditions are at a particular standard. Come on now. The Canadians are doing it for your workers who are in Canada, and Jamaican government say everything is okay. You don't need to do anything.
I close the book. I tell them the program nice and them I run a program. I tell you something. I'm going to teach Jamaican government a thing. I say when America, even at war, and if you blame one of them soldiers, they will not turn over them soldiers to no.
They will not. They will not.
They're going to try you themselves.
Again,
they know one behind. None. I'm at in Russia right now. The basketball player, them say them find people I'll with her. And them they with one what them get around 10 years or something and them appeal and thing because them just want to send back something. So, but you know, the American government or other government, them stand up for them people. Whether they are Canada, must lock up somebody from China and then China arrest some people, bogus arrest, and then them cut a deal for make do a little swapping and thing. Even in a Venezuela, where these two guys, you know, them you know some special forces and things, so them work with and them go over there to go over to and do them things. the government talk to them because tell me why you have to talk for your people there.
You have to
You
talk.
understand?
Yeah.
Even in the series of lock up abroad when them you have American or UK and resident and other people and
Yes.
sell drugs in other people's country and get that when you look these country, get them out.
Yes.
Them come
Yes.
turn doctors and think them not throw a big rope around them neck and them hang them like you're not a body.
No.
In Jamaica, you have people get deported and sometimes I just overstay or something. And what we do, our government turn them in like them a criminal favor. Them not commit no crime in Jamaica.
Yes.
You treat them like a criminal. Come
Yes.
on, criminal. Then what them do, them step on what people them too much, what country can't be that way. I'm a talk.
And maybe it's part of our history, our colonial past that we have not left behind, that we don't know sometimes any other way to deal with what is happening, but to step on our own to move forward. But a government, individuals who put themselves forward to lead a country, must be of a different mindset. It can't be just to perpetuate the same kind of behavior that your colonial masters would have perpetuated. What we require for Jamaican leaders who step into government, opposition or government, the upper house or the lower house, you must have in your heart, and I keep saying, which is one of the reasons, listen, I keep saying, you must have in your heart that understanding that your supreme role is to make sure you're protecting the rights of your citizens. And in particular, if they're overseas, locally, you should not be trampling on their rights. You should not. And when you get to overseas, you are the person that they are going to look to. You must be their staunchest defender. You must. And if you do anything less than that, then you are letting down your workers. Then it means that you are not fit to be in the position that you are, and you are not fit to lead your country. And that must be the signal that
you need to call for some resignation, and that's serious. I remember that's remind Karl Samuda something else, right? You're right, I have to stand up. Right? If me now drive and broke start light and everything, there is no police, me have no ticket or nothing at all. There is no police trail, me follow me, do nothing, stop me car, search me car, do all kind of little things. And I like everywhere you will find gun, you will find this and that. But them not from as long as you not get no trouble, nobody not trouble you like that. They have the rights, for a lot of things, You understand? And that fact, even if you are driving and somebody who have a little car accident or something, that car not even move them, the wrecker will come. Them are call the ambulance. Ambulance are come and everything. If you get injured, them are call one of them car service, and you get a car for drive. Them are move the car. Them are it are fix immediately and everything. In Jamaica, everything backward. From the insurance company to the government and arrogance. Oh, them deal with people. And tell me something. At times for government and you people for the court against it. At times for government workers have some respect to to the public, It's like everybody this the public. Why? It's like the man in a body. Me not thought the 5% who have the money up there, so them not this step. Me I thought the little man them will live, below the property line and things. Like the man in a body, them are just some voters. At times it stop. What for hold them responsible?
Can I tell you, Jamaica has been a very divided society. Jamaica has been a very divided society for years. And there's the whole classism in the society. And we see display itself in what you are saying. Because the truth is that some workers, some persons are going to go into a building, government and whatever, and they will never be disrespected, never. But others, and you see it. And you are right. I think it is time that we make a conscious effort to treat all Jamaicans with respect, regardless of what they look like, how them hair stay, how they talk, yes, the color of their skin, whether they come from country or town, they went to the same school that you went to, they went to university or they didn't go to university, whether you think they are literate or illiterate, whatever it is time we set that bar where all Jamaicans deserve our respect. And I think that's what we have to work on.
So if we do that, you find out you get crime and violence cut down, because absolutely. You see, morals and respect, it go far away. Go very far away. Enough people don't know,
No, and that has to start doing it. That starts in the church, it starts in the home. Mm-hmm. And I always keep saying a lot of things should be done in the home. What is clear now is that those things are not being done in the home.
I'm just saying the home. Remember, I born and go East Kingston, right? So I know all the place one. I know my place. Okay, all right. So back in the day, 80s, you know, well, we can go back to the 70s, but we're going to the 80s when after, you know, the party changes, 80 election, and then them come and then soldier drop camp in our place, YKL, and then, you know, you start get the bad treatment and the police, them and all kind of things. Remember back in the days, them just come and just say something and just kill people and not come out right and them thing there. And them still want to do the same thing, and we say no, because me want everybody accountable, you know, me not play, you know. Because me come out of the hard Fort Rock, and then me I go there now, and me I go come and talk, me I go come talk the truth, I'm in a business. I don't care. You understand me?
The police has done extremely well in terms of what they call the extrajudicial killings, yeah?
Yes.
With come and so on. That's, I mean, we have seen a real big difference with that. But the truth is that at another level in the society, I believe that there's much more work to be done. Just in terms of how we treat one another, how we talk to one another.
But the talking like you still a boy people up, and I'm like, my man come on foot. Remember, you know, people are using camera now. Maybe encourage them to use it a lot. So you see a man come a police and say, hey boy, me shoot in front of camera. You get charged. You're threatening to shoot me, and I like you see me do something. You threaten, you're not supposed to be a police. That's a criminal with and gun. Society need to, if a police ever threaten me as I'm rich.
Yes.
If a police, he might lose his job and go to prison. If a police ever say me I go shoot the police, you need even America. Because what America police do for hurt you, them more hold you down, and if them hold you not try to squeeze in the car, they must stop resisting, so them lick you somebody you move because it's a video. But you know, just when you just shoot you down so and say, hey, me I kill you. Your mother me catch that. So them don't do it.
You are correct. We have to start there in terms of just how we talk to one another, deal with one another, parenting. Yes, parenting. We have to put more resources in the school, because unfortunately, the schools are going to be called upon to do a lot of that kind of training. There's the parents or of the students to build that society that's a little gentler, right? One that we really learn to listen to one another, to respect one another. Because that's where it starts. You can't have disrespect at that level and expect that at another level, your police are going to respect you, or you can't. Because we all.
That's what I'm saying, right? When police them now go now, what you call Beverly Hills or Chevy Garden. Some of them don't even know those places. But I heard on video where police have brief other police to go down in a Riverton City and say, hey, put your stamp down there from early. Me think it name serve, protect and reassure. So you just say go put your stamp down there. If you just go down there, go do them, like, me don't know if it's a slavery thing or what. These are the things where, you know, it just keep on, you know, repeating itself and nobody putting a stop to it. And then when it says something, them still now put a stop to it. If it treat human being as human being.
Wrong, and we have to deal with that. On the other hand, we also have to make sure that our citizens, our residents, also on it, because you know it's a two-way street as well.
Yeah, I know that.
There are other places where as the police come, a man just start. You know, there was a video with this lady. I mean, cussing the soldier, licking, beating. You know, that kind of thing.
But tell you the truth. Remember, I said the police and soldier them do this for decades. And then sometimes you don't see on camera them did it before and the day before and them angry people them. So if alright, it's like when we are grew up, you know, and you know as youth, and you know if you don't like dog and you lick a dog, we call him mongrel. Him mark you, you know.
Yes.
So if I bite you, you know.
Yes.
So you always a rush you. Absolutely. You lay you and then you rush come bite you. And not joke me I make.
No, you're absolutely correct.
And professionals just set the lead. Take the lead, the professionals. You can't train and go and say, hey boy, you say sir, madam, ma'am, you know.
The police and soldiers are the ones who are trained to address those issues.
So when you address it, you approach me right.
Getting angry. Yes. I agree with you.
If you approach my mother wrong, me have you up to tomorrow. You never approach my mother wrong, or my sister, my brother, and me, and then tomorrow I see me laugh with you.
No.
Now I head back. And then the next day come mash up my cousin, and you mash up my friend them. And the next day, and then if you come and say yes, sir, me not gonna say yes, sir.
No.
It need to change. Definitely. Professional to be professional.
Yes.
Yeah?
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%.
We need to change it.
These are the things we have to work on as a country and as a people.
Yeah. And then and if them do that, then you get more information to the police.
Oh, definitely.
Because you build up the trust and everything, and then you get, that means even for your brother, you say, no, when I call the police and I like him, I can't shoot him, I shoot me.
Precisely.
He might come and you're going to learn if you take a 3 or 4 month school out or 6 months, and you will learn when you come out.
So you build that relationship so you can get the information and so that you can even get a chance to understand what's happening in the community.
That is it. But you can't go with every tactic. And then the real criminal, because the real criminal, a lot of them politicians, they do corruption, And me as a man talk straight. And police too, them same man, criminal with bad and go, me talk straight. Because enough of them will say, them a bad boy police, looking at them background, look at them CV. Look what them have, look at them house.
The police come from the same communities, a bad man come from
there. So look at them house, look at what them drive, look what them have, and then pay care and give them. So when you sit down and match it here and say, oh, so you go to the little man and say, him this, but yes, still are you this. You understand?
Oh, we have to clean up the entire society. That can't be allowed to happen either. And I mean, that is why some of these things that we really need to have, the laws, Integrity Commission is there in terms of doing some stuff. And we just have to look to see what else needs to be done to make sure that we can prevent some of those kinds of things. Absolutely.
Because when a man in your community, right, a youth, say him have no money, him have this, him have no go to school. But you say him have a rifle, what value on 600,000. Me know what? If me a police, me no want to kill him, Me want to deal with him. Him want to know. Why you think them keep them certain things in a certain country? When in a UK or in a Canada or Europe or US, when you think someone come by him look a draw for me and everything, he might be the informer upon you.
Oh yes.
So when the police them just want to say you turn him like crackhead, all right, boom bam bam. For me have him, me start get one who I buy from, and then we go the whole chain. We can't come for you, But me now come for you. I said some nickel.
Because you want the bigger guns.
Yeah, man.
You want the bigger guns. That's what you want. Those who are at the top of the chain.
Yeah, man.
Yes, that's what you want. Absolutely.
You see me, I say? So this again now, before me even sign off, I say the hour run off already.
I want to have some people out there waiting at
all right, so I run, but let me tell you now, as the opposition, we need to come out more strong. I'm a matter of fact, I can tell you the truth, I know so the radio station and things, them have mouthpiece. Them not equal up something.
Sometimes to get honest, it's true.
You understand? So me talk straight, me not go run corner, because I know the mouthpiece. Them. I sit down and watch how them study the thing, I study the thing how them run the thing. So them are mouthpiece, and them help hold back Jamaica. That's why we have platform like this when we talk. And we have the diaspora and everything, we're good.
Yeah.
So when me talk, them can't buy me out, so me not business. You understand? Me not business, me just talk straight as. You understand?
Yeah.
Gonna have you again, yeah?
No problem. Thanks so much for having me. An interesting conversation. Whole lot of things that we have to change in this country to protect our people. But we have to do it.
We need to. And remember, Karl Samuda, he need to leave.
Okay.
You can't like that and we forgive him.
100% I'm on that. Absolutely.
All right, thanks.
About that.
All right.
Yeah, man.
Thank you.
Right.
Okay.
Okay.
Yes, man. Yes, that was the MP for Southwest St. Andrew, Angela Brown-Burke. Also the PMP chairwoman. Yeah? And she the spokesperson for Labour and Labour and what again? Security. Yeah, make her just look for Labour and yes. The same portfolio where it's Karl Samuda Labour. Well, she's the spokesperson for Labour. Right? And Karl Samuda, you let me down. You let me down big time. You let down what people then. You take side with the backmaster and I throw what people on the bus and want to tell them say, them want the job because of the job. Like some people want amper on the job. And hey, me not bow. We not bow. Them thing have to stop sell out with people, them man. We not have foolishness. Watch this.
Migrant workers alleging mistreatment and poor living conditions on farms across the Niagara region. Earlier this week, an advocacy group penned an open letter to them demanding change. Jason Gaidola brings us the latest on this.
In a recent call for help from unnamed Jamaican migrant workers in Niagara, Jamaica's labor minister is dismissing allegations of mistreatment and poor conditions.
So, advocacy group I call for a change or them Anglo Jamaican. The group in Canada itself, you know. And then you have a minister who represent who want people at this. Miss the claim. Listen this.
I did not detect, quite frankly, any of the allegations that are meted out.
Any of him, who is him? Me, I tell you, say, you know, say, I care about, I show a little thing. 4 years ago, no, so I talk about this already. 4 years ago. Him say, no detect any of them, so him dismiss all of them. Him forget fired. Eh? Him not there, him there if you come talk about the group, you know, and just listen word. Any, you know, listen.
During a conference call, Jamaica's Karl Samuda responded by saying he toured 9 farms in 7 locations within 4 days earlier this
9 farm in 7 locations. Because the location them forward, you know. All 2 or 9 farm in 7 locations. And 1 farm hundreds of acres. You understand? Some farm maybe 50 acre, 100 acre, 200 acre farm and them things. But I don't know how you tour it. And I don't know you have seen that 4 days. Just driving alone. It have to take too much time. This bad. You see it bad? Them man I think a constituency them around. But you have to just keep him out silent and then him talk and you're not going to break down. Just listen him word. Listen.
month and lauded the working conditions, living quarters, and the farming employers during his visits.
I found the trip very productive.
The trip very productive.
I found that the program was being well managed.
The program well managed. You piece of crap, yo. Him. Now the come back. This is a foolishness. You see me, I say? You see this?
An open letter this month released by advocacy group Migrant Workers Alliance for Change claims systematic slavery within Canada's seasonal agricultural workers program and alleged 2 Niagara farms failed to address overcrowded housing and pest.
Just look how the man have to sit down now and a plant him thing now. Look how him have to just walk in him foot and do him thing now.
Infestations, along with intimidating behavior from employers. Samuda says the Jamaican workforce provided to Canada's farming industry is vital to its country.
And we will do everything in our power to ensure that this relationship not only continues, but is strengthened.
So he might do everything in their power to the relationship, not only continue, but what? So I continue at the relationship, matter about not what people them. So you fight with people them, because you can't say, yo, me get rid of you, me send some other man. Go up there, when they do farming, just send them money. Sell out to people them, man. Relationship continue, but here where them in Canada say itself. Listen.
HCH News reached out to both farms named in the letter this week. One responded, calling the allegations completely false.
Migrant farm workers, authors of the letter, are issuing this statement. Hearing what Minister Samuda has been saying to the media, we feel betrayed. But it's no surprise.
You hear this? Them in other place, you know, tell us them feel betrayed, you know. Them affair same Canadian affair talk up for Jamaica, you know. I tell you, you know. And a minister will for back your people them. Say you in a 4 days, you to 9 farm. Remember me know about the farm, them I know them. People come and me show them from the farm, man. Who no evil, man, you forget fired.
To us that the Jamaican government is choosing to take the side of exploitative workers.
Executive Director with Migrant Workers Alliance for Change, Saeed Hussain, says the group are 2 committees of workers and fear of repercussions if they speak out publicly. He adds by the response from the Jamaican officials, the group wants to turn to Canadian authorities.
It is now the government of Canada's responsibility to allow workers a seat at the table by giving them permanent resident status so that they can represent and advocate for themselves.
Ontario's Labour Ministry says it's working with the federal government while they continue to investigate the matter. The province says they look into working conditions while Ottawa oversees living arrangements. As for the minister, Samuda in Jamaica, he says they will increase liaison staff in Canada to support workers.
Support what kind of workers? For them now support the workers. Foolishness. What want, sir?
Yeah, man. Big up, man. Big up, man. Big up the whole team, man. Yo, man, them for know, say, watch a man. 9 farm him circle, a whole heap of farming in Canada. Tons of farming in Canada. You understand? 9 farm can't work. Enough man they get the right treatment, now get the right support. Enough man get injured, and you know, man, if he just work or watch out, if him go home, you know, him not get nothing. You understand?
Sure,
Them need support. You see, some of them bunkers are trash, me I tell you.
So the one where you want to stay, are you bedroom them stay? Oh, them that,
well,
them bunkers don't look good.
Them right now, them are try to them set it up right now still, you know. Cause them clean it up, you know, cause them are like the system are coming upon them. So them are fix it up.
But me see some bunk where a guy drop off a leather with them bunk thing they them put together. You know, have no, that's in a one little room, just some little bunk, it's like a Nazi camp. And I think when I get a better than part and put in a little room.
Some bunkers are trash, man. Some bunkers are trash, man. You understand? Some bunkers are trash. You see it? You understand? A 4 man, we say 2 4 man in a 1 room. You understand me I say? That overcrowded, you see me I say? So them need to rearrange certain things on the program. And the man them are work hard. When I say really hard, cause a man, if you don't put in the work, you know say boss now gonna take you back the other year, and you get six months for really when you just go on the program, you get 6 months for catch on the work. If you can't manage your work, you see me I say, you now come back.
So if you can't manage the work, you now come back. How big is somebody say, how big is the room?
If you can't do the work, you can't come back, If you can't manage it, because you get time, You understand? You see me I say? Yeah, man, you can't, you're not going to be able to make it, so you have to try, because a man there we can't work already, You see it? I'm going to tell you already, man they can't work already, And them now make you work left them, You understand? So them have to go fast as twice, say, them, for them spot secure. You understand me I say? Man go on farm work, man, and when you look and see amount of work when him do and him a film farmer Jamaica, him have to tell him say, send him back home, cause him not use nobody. I tell him say, go fast. You understand?
So tell me something. When you work at the morning time, what you do? You work at, tell me how big your spot is where you have to cover. Like, your bedroom you have to cover. How much, yeah?
Alright, when me just start, trust me, me tell you say, it was a rough road for me. You understand? You get all an acre. You get all 1 acre. You understand?
You have to do the 1 acre? 1 acre?
You have to do 1 acre. You have to pick, prune, clip, arch, everything if a tomato you do. You understand? You have to do all of that. You see me I say? You have to make sure so your zone clean.
But them tree they're like 16 feet, right? Them tomato tree grow like 16 feet.
Them grow tall, man, because you have to lower it down to,
Yeah, you lower it down.
We lower it down, lower it down on the level where cat can reach. You understand? As you drop off a cat to, sometimes bad chop the day,
So,
you drop off a cat, man. How do you man cat with the rail off a road, you run cat, You understand? And you don't know, what man for done before, I say things set in a farmhouse, man, and some of them have a system in there. You have to then watch up on that. Then you have to clock in each zone you're going at, each track where you're going at. You have to clock in. You understand me? I say they know how fast you go down in there. They know. The thing set up.
So one acre, and it row out. So you have to done like a row, but straight down for the 1 acre, and then come up back. And go, how much row in the acre? Not enough row.
Alright, enough row, man. Roughly, me can't, Right now, I couldn't.
You can't tell you, but
but the plant them enough.
Them enough.
Plant them enough.
And you have to do every one of them plant upon an acre. You have to do it for the acre.
You have to touch every one I plant them. Cause watch out. Remember saying I plant them are growing up. You understand? Remember say eat and chemical bring them in. You understand? So if you know do it, if you not do today, you understand, I left it back for the other day or next coming the other week coming. A forest in it, man. So you have to fix it up right. You know, say next week when you come, you don't have much work to do. You understand? So especially when you cut all the tomato, then you have to make sure you cut it to a level where you know, say, yo, it cut right. So you know, say, you had a DR sucker. Remember, say, when them pump it, he eat panny and the chemical panny, you know, man. They look in there, you know, ripe, you know, man.
Oh.
Yeah,
So when you ripe, who pick it? You have people who pick it though? Are you
man, you pick, man, nowadays, man, you pick, man, you do everything in that, man. You do everything in that, man. You know, partial, man. Sometimes you pick and you have to go pack all tomato to, you know, man.
What?
Yeah, man. Yeah, farm, we have limited amount of worker, man. The workers, them get hours, man. They just know, say, yo, if them done the bush work, then can go a packing house, go do some work. You understand what I say? But some farm have bushman different from packing house.
No, but let me ask a question. Let me ask a question. So when them pump a like tomato right now, you get help to pick the tomato, you have definitely have to go pick them.
Listen, me answer, man. You have to pick your tomato yourself. And if
a man
done before you, if a man done before you, I really ma come help you. If you boss you, man, help you every minute. Him not gonna like it.
So you have to pick the one of that,
Me say, if you can't fix up your own zone, if your supervisor send a man today, don't look for him come tomorrow, come over there, come help you. Yeah. You see me answer? You can't get help all the time. You can't get help all the time.
So me ask you a thing now. So we can't Samuda say no. So we are talking about the greenhouse so plus the outside one, them and everything. So your man will do the greenhouse one. So and your brethren them do outside too. Me I try to show them some know enough people who do the farming. So this is a good thing you call me same time set speed. Because me I try to show them. Yeah. Say I know like because Samuda say everything nice and him tour. Him could have tour any place in a 4 day.
Yo, him could have tour him 9 farm a little bit of farm. The 9 farm now him tour maybe I just in a 1 year tour. Yeah,
and then him could tour out the whole farm itself. Because too much mile in a one farm. Him couldn't tour out the whole farm itself in a one. I remember if him drive from in a Toronto this where he wants to stay and go in a St. Catherine, I go some other places, look for hours better take. So and people come back. When I have time for tour, when they look pan, when they hear, when they see.
Yeah, cause what you know, me know people from Nova Scotia, ball, for come a Leamington, which part me used to work, you know, cause they don't like over there, especially strawberry, you know, cause I know strawberry are outside farm. You understand? So they want a transfer cause over them farm, over them place there, a far place, and they work hard. You understand what I say? Especially if them are the strawberries, so they want to come in a different location for ease off the pressure off of them. You understand? Because the condition with them is especially the woman them, because you know, so when women see them ministry and the monthly thing, you know, say, yo, they can't to work, or live for work certain, you see me I say?
Oh.
So them have to go out, they go work same way, you know. You understand what I say? Especially women in the strawberry field in Nova Scotia, you know. So I only perform there. 9 farmers just maybe just one little year and go, yo,
I'm not gonna
leave in town and them place there. 9 farmers, which farm with them and now and more than 9 farms there this month. Now we are talking, man. some farm they say you can't done. You find some farm where you never even see it. You understand? You don't never know the farm there, so.
You see when them come talk, you know, because them talk like, you know, them don't want to stop the program, good program and thing. But you can't fling with Jamaican people under the bus. If you just talk about farming like You know, I better your farmer Jamaica make us sell the produce to get more money off it then. Give the youth them the land, prepare it up and make a farm there and sell it. Because you have enough place to do that, you know. But farm it, government get involved and we sell it to, we export it to Canada and then anything but them have we farm it up. So when you send for a farmer, you pay them better. You see what I say?
Yeah, definitely.
I will stop import some things.
The same tomato what we plant in our greenhouse, you know. I see him come back all in America here too, you know.
Okay, so them do it okay.
Yeah, man, they ship the tomato ship all boat. You understand what I say? So if Jamaica can't do it, you know, them can get it over there too, you know.
That is it.
You understand?
Yeah, so that them to do.
Plant the one up all this pepper with me here with lady at talk about, you know. Me work on a pepper farm already, you know, and a nice thing for work, you know. The man say, come to Jamaica, come get the seed, the Scotch bonnet pepper. Scotch bonnet are original Jamaica thing. You understand?
So okay, so hold on there now. So a Scotch bonnet, so our seed them get and come make farm it in a greenhouse. Instead of we grow it and sell it.
Yeah, so when him do now, he make the sauce now. He sell it back and he make the sauce, make the hot pepper sauce. So I said, come back around. And then, yeah, man, I hold it for trading night, man. You see me? I say so. Them not investing in a Jamaica to really do the work. Because Jamaica can do the work. You understand me? I say in a them own country.
But we have the water, we have river, we have water. We have the water, we have the land. All we need for this put some man per work and thing and say, yo, say acre, say half acre here then. And this and then the government take it off for you. Him set up the houses, the thing the way you go and does, you know, and then him take it and then he may pay you for what. Can I sell it? No foreign exchange that and thing. We could just do some market and enough people that you know much people that them that put to work. It does solve a lot of problem to Jamaica.
Yeah, man.
And the man know his business is a cut out. You understand? Because food and make we build back with MC and do something. We for eat what we're growing up because here what we do know. We for use Ukraine for an example and Russia. Because them tell about the grains and everything when them country going to war and they hear so when the grain can't get out and this and that and all kind of things and see? So that alone for us show you know. You know, is an example. If you know, say, okay, we for start, you know, for eat what we go, even if we can sustain ourselves from food, because food and water life, you know. Another care, another this and that of food and water. And we can have water, and then we have the land, and we can plant the thing and do it thing. A joke. Government around. You understand?
Yeah, man.
Anyway, through my time I run out, you know, so me have to do a nice, me have to do back an interview with you.
Just big up the man, just big up the farmer, because them down in Leamington places, I say.
Yes, man.
Chadam and them place there, you see it?
All right,
yeah,
sir.
man, just big them up, man. Enough love, man, and just stay
Respect.
strong, you see me?
All right, brother. Yes, man. Respect. And bless. Yeah, man. Tell us a lot of farm work link me, and a joke. Say one just call me. When I do field work and I step on it, you know, see it. You understand? So this is what I talk about. You know, it's the time I run out, you know, so I have to go knock off. But Karl Samuda, you need to fire yourself. You need to resign. Yeah, man. The Prime Minister, the book, stop at your feet. Yeah? Him need to go. Him need to go on. You can't put Jamaica. Yeah? Take Jamaica and just fling them under the bus like that. Zoom! And then people are listening to you. You can't be in a Labour minister, man. And then you fling the people under the bus, man. Eh? This impossible. Anyway, me there, you know. Yeah, man. Keep it straight. You're lonesome. I'm up here. Bless.